We're going to look at some of the other tools that are on the toolbox that we haven't actually looked at yet. There's a few really useful ones that are quite standard with all interactive whiteboard software. So I'm going to go into the big toolbox and we'll have a little look down here. The protractor tool is quite useful. It's an interactive protractor, so we'll grab a 180 degree one and draw it on there. And what this allows us to do is actually measure angles on the actual page. So firstly we'll need a couple of lines to measure. I'll get a sensible line. Okay, I'm going to draw one line and draw another line like that. This could be triangles you're working on, geometry, technical drawings, anything like that. Go back to my select tool. I'm going to drag the protractor to the right place, line it up, and then I'm going to point at the arrow here. See, I've got a little hand symbol. Then drag that round to the line, and you'll see here it tells us how many degrees or how many radians that we've just measured. So this is useful in all sorts of different situations. Let's drag it out of the way, and I'm going to press the little cross here to delete it. Delete the bits of drawing I did before. Okay, so that's a useful tool, and along the same lines there you've got a ruler, a triangle, a compass to draw different circles, which will be quite nice to use. You can move the compass around, you can change the angle, and then we grab the pen and draw a circle. We could then change the angle again, drag the pen, draw another circle. So that's quite a nice little tool to use. Clear those off. Okay, what else have we got in here? Record and playback allows us to actually demonstrate using something on the screen, and you press the little record button and you can create a movie of your activities actually on the screen. So if a student was missing and you were teaching a new piece of software, maybe a CAD program, something like that, you could actually record that with a voiceover, create a little movie file to put up onto VShare or YouTube or somewhere, and so your students could actually view that later. So that's quite a nice tool. The stamper allows you to choose a particular image. I'm going to use a smiley face and to stamp on work that you might be displaying. So that one's quite nice. What else have we got? Multicolour pen and picture pen just allow you to use the pen in a prettier way with different colours and different patterns. Create image page. I think we looked at that in a previous thing that we were looking at, but let me just grab something for now. The image page allows you to just have a background image on your page, and if I now look in here, maybe we use the spotlight tool, and the spotlight tool allows you to select a shape and different colours here. So I could change the colour and have it red. Okay, and what we can do is we can now actually close that, and we can select that, and we can draw the move the spotlight all over an image. So if you wanted to just sort of spot little individual parts of an image, move this around, you can actually take it through there. So I've still got my smiley stamper face, I didn't mean to do him. Let's delete that. So there you go with that one. You could use a standard circle if you wanted to. You could make it a little bit transparent so you can see a bit of the background but not quite all of it, so you could go around highlighting different aspects, but that's quite a nice tool to use. When you don't want it anymore, press the cross at the bottom. Along with the spotlight, you've got a curtain tool that can actually pull up and down as well. Let's see where that is. There we go, curtain, so I couldn't see it. And when you use the curtain tool, again, you can set the transparency of that, and you'd normally want it quite hidden. What it allows you to do is just drag the curtain up or down the page, from top or bottom. You can move it up or down, and that's quite handy if you had a lot of text or parts of a formula, something like that, and you wanted to just click through a little bit at a time as you go. The curtain's really useful for that. Let's see. There is an on-screen keyboard, so if you want your students to be able to type as they were working on something, you could. So you'd get a text box, maybe select that, and the students could actually type into it. You notice that you've got sort of predictive ideas up here, so you don't always have to type the whole lot. So there might be times when you want the students to use the on-screen keyboard. And you see when you're doing a text tool as well, it's also in the top corner there, so that you can actually find it straight away. And one of the other things that you might want to look at, is the last one we'll look at today, is the timer. There are different timers in the gallery, but the basic timer is actually quite useful. You can use it as a timer, and put that at a certain number of seconds. If you were timing an activity and you start, and the timer will count down from the time you originally said, or the stopwatch will count up, and at the end of this period of time it will make a sound just to let you know that you've reached the time. So if you want a timed activity with your students, that's a really easy one to use. Okay, so that one's just keep counting up to time the activity. So use the timer when you want to count down to time an activity, and the stopwatch you just actually keep timing and to see how long someone's taken to do an activity. And those are some of the extra little tools that we have in the Dell Interwrite software.